Please check the show notes for content warnings regarding tonight's episode. Listener discretion is advised. And as always, headphones are recommended. Uh-oh. I know that look. What is it, Charlene?
I'm not sure, Bubba, but there's just something about this thing. When I touch it, I just get this strange feeling that we're on the right track. Does that make any sense?
Well, old Blackthorn said you were highly intuitive, didn't he?
I know, Bubba. I was sitting right beside you, remember?
What do you reckon it means?
Unfortunately, I think it means that against a better judgment, you're going to get your wish after all. Get ready to meet your hero.
Really? Now that's what I'm talking about. I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night.
Now you listen here, Bubba. This offer is only valid if there is no more singing at all for the rest of your life. I've got enough of a headache as it is.
No can do, Billie Jean. I can't help it if I got a beat in my heart that just won't quit.
I'll quit you if you keep testing my patience.
Okay. I'll try my best to keep the enthusiasm contained to my inside parts. Fair enough?
I have eaten way too many greasy nachos today to be hearing about your inside parts. But if you can behave yourself, you might actually manage to get something done while we're here. When is the panel supposed to be again?
I think the announcer dude said tomorrow at noon. Or maybe it was coming soon. I don't know. I couldn't hear over all the hooting and the hollering.
That's fine. I'll just ask our little friend. HQ, can you tell us when the panel with Arm Queen is supposed to be?
I'm sorry. The hyperquantum algorithmic human-compatible interface is currently offline. Please disconnect and try your query again.
Still, Well, what about you, new voice?
I am a secondary algorithmic language interface. In order to facilitate more efficient communication, you may call me Sal.
Okay, Sal, can you answer my question?
No.
Thanks anyway, I guess.
You're welcome. Would you mind leaving a short rating of your experience so I can better assist you in the future?
Oh, you bet. To whom it may concern, this automated system is about as helpful as a pogo stick in quicksand.
Your response has been recorded. Thank you for using our automated response system.
What's the point of an automated system if it can't even automate?
You ever get the feeling we're being punked?
Only every day since we joined up with the you-know-what agency.
You know, Bubba, for once, I think I agree with you, and that scared me more than any cryptid. Look, forget the AI. We should just find someone who works here. Keep an eye out for someone who looks like they're completely dead inside.
Ooh, while we're at it, we should ask if they got any karaoke.
As Charlene rubs her temples and quietly counts to 10, an invisible pair of eyes watches them from the rafters. If the agents bothered to look up, they would see a creature lurking in the shadows. It glares at them for a moment before vanishing into an air duct. Remember back in Chapter 1 when I told you to always be aware of your surroundings? Oh well, hopefully nothing bad happens to my fragile little darlings. But you never know around here because this is Oh, yes. I needed this. After a long day of standing on their feet, the agents have discovered an empty bar. Charlene, who is tired and upset, is frowning into her glass.
Woo! Whatever this is, I'm already feeling it. What is in this stuff anyway?
That's a Shirley Temple, Bubba.
Well, they must have mixed this one with the extra Shirley.
You know, you bring a whole new meaning to the word lightweight.
Why, thank you. I figure I'm down at least 5 pounds since January.
Okay, real talk, and be honest. Do you ever think we're just not cut out for this? I mean, look at us. Stakeouts and cosplay, tracking cryptids at fan conventions. Do we even know what we're doing here? I feel like I suck both at this job and this costume.
You bite your tongue, madam. Dr. Jekyll never fails. He transforms.
Charlene regards her partner's dirty clothes. And to you, Mr. Hyde, no thanks. I'd rather be a failure.
I want to drink mead.
What did I tell you?
What? I have a song in my heart.
That was an insult to both Queen and the entire men industry. I am so sorry, Freddie.
You know what your problem is, Charlene. You need to lighten up. Learn to live a little.
Learn to live a little?
Is there an echo in here?
We are on assignment, Bubba. That might not mean much to you, but it happens to mean a lot to me. We are supposed to be professionals, for crying out loud.
I get that, but nothing says we can't enjoy our work while being professional.
Need I remind you what we are doing before we landed this gig, Bubba? I was waiting tables, and you were frying hash browns at Waffle House, which was fine. It was an honest living, but then you had to go and get us both fired.
Hey, that grease fire was not my...
And we might still be out of a job if we didn't happen to run into Bigfoot on that fateful night. Would that make you happy, Bubba?
No, of course not. I'm just trying to...
Don't you get it? I'm trying to actually make something out of my life here. I may never get another chance like this.
And you think I'm getting in your way?
Yes, no, I don't know. I'm sorry, no, I don't really think that. Heck, you're one of my best friends. One of my only friends.
Now I know you've had too much to drink. You're starting to actually be nice to me.
Don't get used to it. It's just, you've known me most of my life. We grew up in the same worthless, middle-of-nowhere town. Even in that tiny place, I never stood out. I've gone my entire life without having a real sense of who I'm supposed to be, you know? Then bam! This amazing thing drops in my lap, only I feel like I don't belong here, any more than back home. I'm scared. It's only a matter of time before Blackthorn and the others send us packing. I don't want to be a nobody, Bubba. Do you have any idea how that feels?
Yeah, I think I can relate.
How are you so calm about this?
Well, I figure, no matter what I do, things are going to go how they're going to go, you know?
Not really, no.
Alright, think about it this way. Look at Shirley's glass here. See? Now I have a choice. I can either drink it, or I can leave it right here on the counter till someone comes along and throws it away. Either way, I done paid for it, see? Can't change that. So I figure, might as well go ahead and enjoy it, right? Same goes for life, too.
Actually, I paid for it. And you could give it to me if you don't want it. But I think I get what you're saying. You just have a terrible way of saying it. By the way, are you going to drink all of that?
Darn tootin'.
You are so weird.
I prefer to think of myself as an original recipe.
Well, I'll drink to that. Cheers.
So, you ready to talk about the Oliphant in the room?
I don't reckon you'd be willing to let this go if I wasn't.
Well, you already know that if you don't, I'm just gonna bug you about it till time stops.
That's true. I'd never hear the end of it. How long have you known?
I've had my suspicions for as long as I've known you, but you never said anything, so I didn't ask. But then Blackthorn said that thing about you being, you know.
Highly intuitive. Just two harmless little words. It sounds so trivial when you put it like that.
Then, about an hour ago, your face went kinda weird when you touched that Sergeant Yak cutout. Looked like you went into some sort of trance or something. I'm guessing that was more than just a wee bit of intuition.
Bubba, I need you to swear to me. I mean swear, on your life, that you will never tell another living soul what I'm about to tell you.
Come on, Charlene, if you can't trust me, who can you?
Swear it, Bubba.
Okay, I swear.
I'm holding you to that. You remember the lady who hired us? The one who was in charge before Blackthorn?
Oh yeah. What was her name? Colonel Mary? Megan? Monstromo?
Her name was Colonel Merritt, Bubba. Although I'm not convinced that she was actually a colonel. But never mind that. Do you remember the first words she ever said to us?
Now that I will never forget. Good evening. My name is Colonel What's-Her-Name. The two of you are under arrest. You have the right to remain...
No, Bubba. That's what you heard. But it wasn't the first thing she said.
Okay. You've lost me.
Her actual first words were, "You can hear me, can't you?" She was speaking to me, Bubba. So I answered her, yes.
Come on. You were standing right next to me, Charlene. And I didn't hear none of that.
You didn't hear it because she spoke those words to my mind, Bubba. Don't you get it? I heard her voice inside my head, as loud and clear as I'm hearing you now.
Wow. Must come in handy if you ever lose your phone, huh?
Dang it, Bubba. I knew you wouldn't take this seriously.
Wait. I am. I'm sorry. You know I use humor as a coping mechanism. Of course I believe you. Heck, I've known you too long not to. You always seem to know things before anyone else. But hold up a second. Does that mean you can read my thoughts?
Now we both know you never had a single thought in that oversized melon of yours.
Ouch.
Oh, don't be a baby. You know I'm just messing with you. But no, it doesn't work like that. It's more like stuff just pops into my head. I have no control over it.
Is it just people's thoughts? Or is it other stuff too?
Dang it, Bubba. I was really hoping you weren't going to ask that. Sometimes I get visions. And before you ask, no. I never see anyone in the bathroom.
Wow, how'd you know I was going to ask?
I don't have to be a psychic to know how your little mind works, Bubba.
Well, dang. So how long have you been able to do this stuff?
I can't remember a time when I couldn't. But I learned from an early age to never, ever talk about it. People tend to get scared when you do.
Well, that certainly explains why you hung out with me so much when we were youngins. You might find this hard to believe, but folks thought I was a bit of a weirdo too.
You don't say. But no, that's not why, Bubs. Well, okay, that was one reason, but it wasn't the only one. Truth is, you are one of the few people I've known who has never judged me. You knew I was different, but you accepted me. No questions asked. At least until today, you nosy little jerk.
Ha ha. Yeah, I deserve that. So what happened back there, really, when you put your hand on that cutout?
I heard a voice whisper my name.
Ooh, that's properly unsettling. So you think Arnold Quinn is somehow connected to all this?
I don't know. My visions don't exactly come with instructions, but it has to mean something. And right now, it's the only lead we have.
Yeah, I reckon we can use all the help we can get, especially with HQ on vacation or wherever it is those things go. Well, I suppose it's time for a little revelation of my own.
What? Now you have a secret?
Why the sudden tone of surprise?
Bubba, you couldn't even keep it to yourself. That time you learned how to make a coin appear out of my nose? You were like, here's another one, right here in my hand, ta-da! And I probably know you better than you know yourself by this point.
I bet you don't know this.
Okay, try me.
Alright. You remember that night we met Bigfoot?
Yeah?
Well, turns out, that wasn't my first time. I've done run into that critter once before.
You have got to be kidding me.
Nope. See, a long time ago, when I was a wee whippersnapper, I was in the Cub Scouts.
You were in the Cub Scouts?
Hey, I didn't interrupt your backstory.
Sorry, go on.
Uh-huh. Anyway, so we were having our semi-annual overnight camporee, and my name was up for Snipe Watch.
Oh yes, snipes. Very dangerous.
You bet your booty they are. So, picture it. There I am, sweeping the woods for snipelings, when all of a sudden, it occurs to me I have no idea where I am. I panic and start yelling out for help, but of course no one hears me. Well, the next thing I know, this ginormous hairy feller is standing right in front of me. He holds out a big old paw, almost as if he's asking me to give him a high five. Well, after a minute or two goes by with me standing there gawking at him, he shrugs and points somewheres off that way. I nod, take off flying like a bat out of a guano factory, and sure enough, eventually I find the camp right where old Sassy Britches pointed. I stumble out of a bush, and one of the pack leaders cracks a joke about how the snipes must have got me, and everyone starts laughing. I laughed too, but inside I was so embarrassed, I never said a word about my encounter. That is, until now.
Well, that's, quite a tale.
Oh, come on. After all we've been through, is my story really so implausible?
No, it's not, Bubba. It's just the same thing happened to me. I also ran into Bigfoot as a kid.
Well, the revelations just keep on coming. And you never told me?
Oh, you're one to talk, punk. How come you never told me, huh? Listen to yourself. After all we've been through. Hypocrite much.
Well, I guess we've just been running around like chickens with our heads cut off for so long, I never got around to mentioning it. Huh. So you're saying we both met Bigfoot before we met Bigfoot?
Your powers of deduction are the stuff of a legend, Bubba.
Well, I'll be. Small world, isn't it? Well, go ahead, spill it. What's your Bigfoot story?
Charlene's face darkens with a distant, buried memory.
Charlene?
Remember what I said about not talking about certain things because people get scared?
Yeah?
Well, this is why. Charlene rolls up her sleeve, revealing a deep scar.
Isn't that the scar from when you fell off your bike as a kid?
No, that's a story I told you. But that's not what happened.
Oh, you know, it's okay if you don't feel like...
No, I need to finally tell someone. Might as well be you. And I need to do it now before my buzz wears off. When I was 12, my family had this big reunion. They rented out a spot for all of us, out in the middle of some national park or something. My cousin and I decided to sneak off to play in a creek that was off in the woods. I mean, it was late afternoon, the sun was out, and we were young, so we felt safe. You know, just a little harmless fun. There was no reason to think things would... Bubba handed Charlene a tissue. Thanks anyway. We were splashing around, being kids. Then in a blink of an eye, everything went black. 1 second, it's the middle of the day. Then the next, it's like someone turned off the sun. There was no moon, no stars, no nothing, only darkness. Then there's these shapes moving around in the shadows. Even though it was in the middle of July, it was so cold, we could see our breath. That's when we heard it.
What? Bigfoot?
Oh no, Bubba, this thing was like nothing I've ever seen. Even since joining the MWA, most of the cryptids you and I know are more or less harmless, so long as people leave them alone. But this thing was a predator. Charlene's eyes lose focus as she is lost in the memory. It's hard to describe what it looks like because there's something off about it. Like, it's both there and not there. It's kind of blurry, as if parts of it is melting into the shadows. It's huge, at least the size of a building. There's hundreds of shadowy limbs, all searching and sniffing, searching for us.
Nope. Me no likey.
Yeah, well, you weren't there. Imagine how I feel. Worst part is, the sound. It has this scream like metal plates screeching together.
Ugh, what do you do?
Nothing. I try to run, but my legs won't move. I don't know if I'm frozen because of fear, but I can't even get my teeth to chatter. I've never in my life felt so alone and helpless. But then I lock eyes with my cousin. She's frozen too. One of those tendrils slithers across her foot. You know, Bubba, even all these years later, I can still see her face. Whenever I close my eyes, it's like looking into a pool of ice. It wraps around her body like a snake. Then she is hoisted into the air. She never makes a sound, but I know she's screaming because I can't.
You can hear her in your head, can't you?
Yeah. Next thing I know, it has me by the arm, and I can feel myself being pulled toward the shadows. I'm praying, wishing, begging someone will come, that someone will save us. My arm feels like it's on fire. Then I hear a voice, no, a chorus whispering inside my head.
What are they saying?
They're saying, the shadows will come. The shadows will feast.
Oh no.
The pain is so intense, I lose consciousness. My last thought is, this is it. This is how I die. Charlene's eyes snapped back to the present. The next thing I know, I woke up. I was laying flat on my back. The stars were out, and there was a full moon shining overhead. I realized the forest is moving. No, it's not the forest. Me, I was being carried.
Was it those things?
No, but you get 3 guesses who it was.
Bigfoot?
Yeah, the one and only. At first I wanted to scream, but when I looked into his eyes, I saw kindness. But they were also sad and full of regret. Without a single word, I understood. He had saved me, but he had not been able to save her. I think I started to cry. I saw kind of a blur, but then was sitting on the ground, and Bigfoot was long gone. Suddenly there was a lot of shouting. My uncle grabbed my shoulders, started shaking me, screaming about his daughter. I looked over at my parents, but they just stood there. It's weird, isn't it? The little details you remember. My parents never stood up for me, even when I was bleeding and scared. Anyway, I tried to explain, but my voice was shaking, and I couldn't get any words out. Everyone just kept yelling, and they had search teams combing the woods for weeks, but my cousin was never seen again. And if Bigfoot hadn't saved me, I would have.
Charlene, I am so sorry. I had no idea.
No one does. My family still refuses to talk about it. They eventually made up some stupid story that she ran away and fell in with the bad crowd. But I know what really happened. And I know they blame me.
But it wasn't your fault.
None of that matters, though, does it? They already thought I was a freak because of my visions. And, well, my latest tale put them right over the edge. So, ever since, I've been pretty much on my own.
Oh, come here, you.
Oof, Bubba, what the heck are you doing?
You looked like you needed a hug.
Personal bubble, dude. Personal bubble.
Sorry, you're right. No hugging without permission. I just got caught up in the moment. I just wanted you to know that you're not alone.
Thanks, man. Do you know what still gives me nightmares after all this time? It's not that thing in the woods. Oh no. It's the way my family looked at me, Bubba. Like I was some kind of disease. It made me almost wish that thing had grabbed me. Listen, I'm sorry. I never told you any of this before. It's really hard to talk about, even with the help of alcohol.
You got nothing to be sorry for. I get it. I hope you know by now you can talk to me about anything, if you ever need to. And if not, I understand that too. Either way, I have made a decision. I hereby adopt you, Charlene McDougal, into Clan Larkin effective immediately. You're part of my family now, and I will always have your back.
Woohoo. Sorry, you know I use sarcasm as a defense mechanism. That really does mean a lot to me. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but you're almost tolerable. Sometimes.
Whoa, can you say that again? I need to record it for posterity.
Not a chance.
So, got any more secrets you feel like sharing?
That depends, do you?
I've probably still got a mystery or two left in me.
I really hope not.
You know, I think I finally get it.
Get what?
The real reason this job means so much to you. You believe that thing's still out there, don't you?
Not bad, Bubba. Since when did you grow an actual brain?
Always the tone of surprise with you, ain't it?
Well, you have to admit, cleverness ain't exactly your strong suit. Come to think about it, how do I know you aren't some kind of shapeshifter that's only pretending to be my partner? Can you imagine how bad that would look on my next review? I'd never get a promotion.
Oh, hardy har har. You're just full of jokes, ain't you? So what's our next move, boss?
Well, we still have an incubus to find for starters. We have to try to impress a grumpy colonel and our AI babysitter. Woohoo! I also want to find out what happened to Meredith, because she was good to us. She understood my abilities. I mean that, Bubba. We owe it to her. She's the reason we landed this gig. Then, after all that, I don't know, maybe we can try to save the world? What do you reckon?
Well, my calendar's wide open, so count me in. Think we can grab a pizza after?
I don't know. Are you going to sing about it?
Sorry, I don't take requests. Spontaneous musical outburst only.
I've heard worse. Well, whatever happens, I think right here and now, we deserve another round. What do you say? This is on you.
That depends. Got any money I can borrow? I think maybe I got a $5 or something.
As the two parties enjoy a rare moment of peace, a pair of eyes watches them from a dark corner of the bar. If the agents bothered to look, they would see a creature vanish into the shadows. If the agents bothered to listen, they would hear the softest of giggles. If the agents bothered to care, they will realize their most intimate secrets are no longer secret.
This chapter was written and voiced by Topher Graves and A. Fields. It was produced by Topher Graves. This episode is lovingly dedicated to the amazing souls who save us from real-life monsters each and every day, as well as those we've lost along the way. Please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review the show so more folks can find us and so that you don't miss any new episodes. Until we meet again, dear listeners, please take care of yourselves and each other. Monster World is a Top Hat Jack Studios audio presentation.